Oh, really? Yeah, so we started from the round of 64, round of 32, and now we are in the round of 16, and we are making progress in the 2025-26 Women's FA Cup. But then, you know, I've been doing this with the chairperson of the Women's FA Cup committee, and she has always given us in-depth knowledge on what we should expect, and she is Madam Rosalie Kramer Amu, and let me welcome her first before we proceed to doing the draw. And we have Matilda Dumedo. She has been doing more of the women's football at the Ghana Football Association. First, let me welcome the chairperson. Madam, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you and Happy New Year. I think this is the first time we are meeting
yes,
this year,
yes.
so Happy New Year.
Thank you. Matilda, hope you are doing well.
I'm doing so well.
Yes.
Yeah, you are doing well as well.
All right, so let me take the views, comments of the chairperson. After round of 64, round of 30, we are at round of 16. Let me take a comment before we proceed to doing the draw shortly.
Well, I think we've had an exciting competition so far. Some of the big wigs have fallen off the way. There have been some few surprises, very few surprises. I think if you ask, the biggest surprise will be Ruth Sisters beating Lady Strikers in the round of 32. But that comes as no surprise. If you have followed Ruth Sisters carefully, you would know what they are capable of doing. That said, I think that there haven't been too many shocks. Apart from the elimination of police ladies, I think that by and large it's being a fairly saleable draw for especially the big guns. We are waiting to see what the next round of draws will bring and what will happen.
Well, you can join us live now for the draw of the Women's FA Cup round of 16. My name is Shaban Mohammed. We proceed to doing the draw. We have it empty here, and so we have the chairperson. She is going to take us through, and then we can start. But I'm sure she has something to share with us.
Yes, I think that before we go on with the draw, we just need to go through quickly the list of people, teams that have progressed, and the outcomes, the results.
Okay.
We usually will do the draw without people knowing what's happened before then. And so quickly, I would go through, I think that's Army Ladies, former champions. They beat Valued Girls 3-1. Mepe Peace Ladies lost to Epiphany Warriors. We all know who is handling Epiphany Warriors now. The coach himself, Nana Adakwa. Epiphany won 6-0. Hazakes Ladies also beat ACM Socrates 4-1. Supreme Ladies were 3-0 winners over Northern Ladies. And then the biggest win of the day, Ampim Dakwa Ladies walloped Sunshine Ladies 13-0. I don't remember the last time I saw a quickest score line like that. And then Akosombo Ladies beat Anglon Ladies. Jadba Ladies beat Fosu Royal Ladies 1-0. And then also,
okay.
Amfani Ladies lost 2-1 to Tamale Super Ladies. FC Savannah beats Fabulous Ladies. People who know Fabulous Ladies will think that it is a shocking result, but it isn't now. While All Stars were also 2-0 losers to Bulgar Chaparros. For the first time, Bulgar have been able to edge Wow All Stars now. And Nasara Ladies also lost 5-1 to Dreams Ladies. And then the Arm of God Ladies beat Northern City Ladies 2-1. And then Jonina, the team of the moments, people will say, were 2-1 winners over Capfix Ladies. And then Ruth Sisters beat Lady Strikers 4-1. And then Sisamba Ladies also stand Soccer Intellectuals. I think those were the two shocking results in the league for this round.
Well, so the defending champions, Faith Ladies, they won it last year, and this year it looks like we are going to have a different champion. But we proceed to making the draw, and all the time we've been doing this together. This is the last draw, I guess. This is the last draw, I guess. From this, we go straight to the tree.
Yes, so this is the last draw that takes us to the quarterfinals, and so from there we progress to the tree, and so everybody should pay attention. All those who are following and monitoring should pay attention so that they can draw their own tree and follow the progress of the competition as it goes on.
Then before we proceed to making the draw,
Wow, share results
So we proceed to the draw, and we have the chairperson. First, you would have to take us through.
I think Matilda will take us through what we are going to do, because from now onwards, it's everybody plays everybody. But I would want Matilda to emphasize the process so that everybody will be clear about it.
All right. So Matilda will take us through the process.
I think at this round, we still go with the northern and the southern zone, but not on regional basis. The teams in the northern zone will play against themselves, and then the teams in the southern zone will also play against themselves. Then after that, then it becomes national, like all the zones together. So today will be the last time that we will do it, the northern and then the southern zone. Yeah.
All right. So that's Matilda. She's saying that even though it's northern and southern zone, it is not about northern region, Ashanti region. The northern zone are playing each other in the quarter, that's the round of 16. But then in the quarterfinal, we would not have any northern and southern zone. You are likely to play a team in Accra. That's if you are in the north as well. That's the information. And also, if you are in the southern zone, you are likely to play a team in the north. That's maybe Temali, if there is a team there that you have been drawn against. And that is it before we proceed to the draw. Thank you very much. We proceed, Chairperson. This is it. It's empty here. And so there's nothing in there before we start. We are starting with the southern or the northern? Let's start with the northern. So we've decided northern zone. So that's the northern zone. Brown. It's been sealed well. I wanted them to see how it's sealed. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. So that's empty. The first team will be picked, and the chairperson in charge of everything today. So FC Savannah, Malta Guineas Women's Premier League side. And let's see which team they get to play in the Women's FA Cup. And that is Arm of God. And last time Arm of God worked. The Arm of God actually worked. Let's see how they face off FC Savannah. And that's the first draw. The second draw, that's Division 1 side playing against Premier League side. And this is Supreme Ladies. And their name, Supreme. You know, when we say something is supreme, you get to understand it. And they face off Bolga Sharp Arrows. So the Supreme versus Sharp Arrows. And these two things I fear. And so it's going to also be a tough fixture. Supreme, Sharp Arrows. And Temale Super Ladies. Malta Guineas Women's Premier League side. Temale Super Ladies. And let's see who they get to play in this zone. And Dreams Ladies. That's Premier League affair. And then the last team from the northern, we have Ampim Dakwa Ladies. And that's Nanamba Ampim Dakwa. Jagba Ladies. And that's the last draw. Ampim Dakwa versus Jagba Ladies. And that is the end of the draw from the northern zone. Let's come to the southern. It's sealed. I want them to see how sealed it is. Yes, and it's empty here. Straight to the southern zone. And let's proceed. After that, we take you through the clubs. And then we take the final submission. And so you can join us live on. Okay, Army Ladies. And Army Ladies first to be drawn in the southern zone. They get to face Sisamba Ladies. Sisamba ladies. Last year they went, and that's a tough fixture. Yes, Ami Sisamba. Azakes ladies. Hazakes ladies. Hazakes ladies. Azakes or Kobowine. Azakes ladies. And so Azakes ladies. Epiphany Warriors. A tough fixture indeed. Azakes Epiphany Warriors. Azakes Epiphany Warriors. And Matilda has been smiling. I don't know what she has observed. Maybe she has a fact about them. And Akosombo girls. And then the face of Jonina ladies. Last year they lost in the final. Let's see how they get to go this time around. And FC Samatex ladies at home. FC Samatex, and the last team they get to face, Roots Sisters. FC Samatex, Roots Sisters. And chairperson, the heat in the draw alone. I want to take a submission. As she was doing the draw, how was she feeling? The pressure, the tension? Because I know when she was doing it, I could see that. I didn't. Well, let me give you the teams, the qualified teams, the opponents, the teams they are playing. FC Savannah will be facing off Arm of God, Supreme Ladies, Bolga Sharp Arrows, Tamale Super Ladies, Dreams Ladies, Ampim Dakwa Ladies versus Jagba Ladies. And from the Southern Zone, we have Army Ladies, Sisamba Ladies, Azakes, Epiphany Warriors, Akosombo Girls, Jonina Ladies, and FC Samatex Ladies versus Root Sisters. Let me take the comment of the chairperson. She was actually the one doing the draw, and I know how she felt. But she can tell us how the pressure was like.
Pressure, you just want to make sure that you have an objective draw. You know, when it comes to eliminations, it's difficult for you to take sides. It's difficult for you to have your wishes come true because at the end of the day, the teams that have progressed are the best in the competition for the season. And so if you want to win, you want to be crowned champions, it means that you should be ready to play the best. Whoever comes your way, you have to clear the person or the side before you can progress to the next level. And so for us as organizers, we are excited because this is going to serve enthralling football. If you look at all the teams, where they are, how they qualified or they progressed to this point, you realize that, don't forget that it was Arm of God that eliminated Oaks Ladies.
Yes.
No. It was rather Capfix, but Capfix they didn't.
They are out.
But Arm of God, I think, beat one of their sides. They beat Northern Cities.
Okay.
And we thought that it was a storm in the cup, but now they've come back and they are facing another northern side, FC Savannah. And I always tell you that anytime there is a regional derby, it is always a tough encounter. Anytime there is a regional derby, it's always a tough encounter. And another encounter that you are likely to see some exciting and serious competition will be Tamale Super Ladies versus Dreams Ladies. These are two Premier League sides. They have a lot of bone to pick with each other, and they are coming up again. I think that it is fair and objective for me, even as the chairperson, to say that perhaps this round will be the end of the road for Jaba Ladies. Looking at what Ampim Dakwa has right now and what they are saying, I'm not to say that they will not do well. They may do very well, but as former champions who are still topping the league at the zone, it will be difficult for Jaba Ladies, a zonal side, to come and upset Ampim Dakwa in that manner. Anybody going against a side that has scored 14-0 should be afraid. When you come to the southern zone, it's tough. It's zone. I mean, I don't know where to start. I mean, Samatex Root Sisters, Akosombo Girls, Junina, Hazakes Ladies, Epiphany. I mean, and then Army Ladies versus Sisamba Ladies. It looks like we are playing some finals before the finals. But we can only wish the teams all the very best and ensure that the best side will progress. And hard luck to the sides that are unable to make it.
Well, Matilda, before I come to the chairperson where she's going to tell us when we are going to have these fixtures being played, but these are the draw, the southern and the northern. At a point in the southern zone, you kept smiling and I was surprised. I feel you've seen something.
Yeah, I was smiling because of the fixture between Hazakes and Epiphany Ladies. You know, it was going to be very tough. They are two Premier League side, and they are all doing well. If you look at their playing body, you look at the kind of quality they have at stake, it should let you know that that game will be very tough. And then another tough match again in the Southern Zone will be between Satelites and Root Sisters, because these two teams have seen them firsthand during the regionals, when they were playing to qualify for the Women's Premier League, where Satelites rather qualified. So I know the two of them so well, and I know when they come up against each other, it's always difficult and tough. And this one is a knockout phase, so any of them would want to play and then come through. And with the Northern Zone, I think the fixtures are quite interesting as well. My pick would be for Tamale Super Ladies and Dreams Ladies. These are two Premier League side also as well, and they are all doing well when it comes to the Northern Zone. So I think all said and done, we'll be witnessing super exciting games during the weekend for the games.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Matilda Dumedo, Chairperson. Take us through. People are asking, when are we going to play these fixtures?
So the round of 16, or the quarterfinal draw, matches will be played from the 20th to the 23rd February. Oh, okay. So it's been changed from 23rd to 26th. So we should just take note, 23rd to 26th, the weekend of 23rd to 26th February. And oh, it's January. Yes. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. I am looking at the proposed calendar, and I thought that was
okay.
So it means that is next week.
It's
actually next week.
Yes.
So
this month.
Yes. And
this month.
Please forgive us, because now we need to move everything forward to make room for the Black Queens to prepare for the impending Women's AFCON. It is also a Men's World Cup year, under 20 tournament year. So there are lots of competitions. So the calendars, the schedules are changing so that we can finish the season in good time and ensure that all the teams get the time they need to prepare for the international assignment. So please take note. It is next weekend, the weekend of 23rd to 26th January. That is when the matches will be played. The venues will be communicated, and it's fair to also remind ourselves that the teams that were picked first will be playing home. We haven't gotten to the time where everybody will be playing at the neutral grounds. I think that when we get to the semifinals, that is when the teams will be made to play at the neutral grounds. So for now, FC Savannah will be hosting Arm of God. Supreme Ladies will be hosting Bulgar Chaparros. Tamale Super Ladies will be hosting the Dream Ladies Encounter, and Ampem Dakwa Ladies will host the Jaba Ladies. Army Ladies will host Sisamba Ladies. Hazakes Ladies will host Epiphany Warriors. Akosombo Girls will host Jonina Ladies. Samatex Ladies will host Roots Ladies. And please, like we always remind you, don't be fooled by the name Akosombo Girls. They are not playing in Akosombo. They are playing in the central region.
Well, thank you very much. So take note of this information. First information, take note that if your name is being mentioned first, you are playing the home. That's FC Savannah Army. So FC Savannah at home. Supreme Ladies, Bolga Sharp Arrow, Supreme Ladies at home. Tamale Super Ladies against Dreams Ladies. Tamale Super Ladies home. Pem Dakwa Ladies host Jagba Ladies. Army Ladies Sisamba Army is hosting that fixture. Azakes Ladies Epiphany. Azakes at home. Akosombo Girls, and like the chairperson said, don't be fooled with the name Akosombo. They are not in Akosombo. They will be playing Jonina Ladies and FC Summertex Ladies versus Root Sisters at the Century Sports Arena. Take note of this information. Again, it's next week. That's next weekend, the weekend of 23rd January to 26th. That's when the Women's FA Cup round of 16 will be played soon. After this, it will be a tree. We will not sit here to analyze or bring you another draw again. And so the tree will take over, where we get to know who plays who at the semi-final. Then at the final, we see who wins the 2025-26 Women's FA Cup. Thank you very much for joining us. And as well, let me say thank you, big thank you to the chairperson. She's always been with us. Thank you. You've always been with us, and we appreciate that so much.
Responsibility to come and show up and ensure that everything is done orderly. And so I'm also grateful for always inviting me to be part of the draw.
Thank you. And Matilda has always been behind the scene. She's been the coach. Past year, will enter here. Matilda, thank you very much. You've been a top coach. Maybe I should give you Pep Guardiola.
You are doing well.
Thank you very much. And so Zainab is here with us, and then Vicentia, they have always been playing a key role. And then Madam Barbara, and she's my boss. And then last time I was here with her, that's a member of the committee, Madam Nana Ado Ampia. She is also here. Today, we missed her on the podium, but then thank you very much. I appreciate you. And then we have referee, Mr. Alex Scott. I called him this morning. I didn't know he would be here. I wouldn't have even bothered to even call him. Thank you, referee, for always being part of us and helping us make progress in whatever we do. My name is Shaban Mohammed. It's been a beautiful and wonderful draw. See you again next time. Bye-bye.